result, our parent gods, and as a result, our grandparent gods. Our parents are the result, our grandparents gods. We are the result, our parent gods. So except you are completely satisfied with the result your parents got, which is you, then it's okay to replicate everything, to carry on with their patterns. But if you know that you are not truly satisfied with the results they got, then it simply means that you need to break their patterns. You need to intentionally break their pattern. Hello, today is about parenting styles. I'm not talking about the types of parenting, talking about permissive, authoritarian, negligent, and all of that. I'm talking about creating your own individualized, your own unique, your own customized parenting style. I'm talking about being a new ancestor for the generation ahead of you. I'm talking about creating a parenting pattern, a parenting legacy that will result to raising the children you actually want to see, the children in your vision, in the big picture. I do want to believe that you have your vision already. You have a destination for your parenting. If you don't have, you want to sit back and ask yourself, why do I have kids? What is the purpose of my having children? You want to start from that. And this is brought to you by PAC, Parenting Accountability Community. This is one of the things we do in PAC. So if you don't have a parenting vision, or you don't know how to go about your parenting vision, you want to leave it in a comment section so that we can share our video with you on how to create your own parenting vision. You want to start from there. So when you have a vision, you want to create your customized, your individualized, your unique parenting style because you have unique children. You actually want to break some parenting circles, parenting patterns, and start a fresh one. You want to be a new ancestor for your children. So welcome back. So this is brought to you by Parenting Accountability Community, PAC. What we do in PAC is parents who have a destination in mind in their parenting, they come together, create a vision, set goals, get empowered. Yes, create our template. Like if you research on people who are great in different aspects of life, maybe in their finances, in their marriage, in relationship with God, in networking, people who are just great, whatever success means to you. If you look at people who are smashing it in that regard, you realize that it is not luck, it is not fluke, it is not, they didn't wing it. There is something that is working for them. There's a template that is working for them. Yes, so that is what we do at PAC. Create a template that will help us realize the vision for our parenting. So the topic is creating your own parenting style. Now, like I said, I'm not talking about authoritarian parenting, authoritative parenting, negligent or uninvolved parenting, helicopter parenting, or permissive parenting. I'm not talking about all of that, even though that is very necessary. It's important we know our type of parenting so that we can adjust our ways. I'm not really talking about that today. I'm talking about you as a parent creating your own parenting style that will help you achieve your parenting dreams, your parenting vision at the end of the day. Now, it is important for us to be intentional, to intentionally sit down, reflect on our parenting, and want to create a parenting style because there are two major factors responsible for how we parent. And two of those factors are not something that we intentionally brought upon ourselves. No, one of them is your temperament. Temperament is the topic we are going to look at another day, hopefully before the end of this month. We are going to look at your temperament as a parent and how it affects your parenting, how it influences your parenting choices, how it's going to help you realize your parenting vision, or how it's going to stand in your way of realizing your parenting vision. So we are going to look at that another time. Today, we are looking at the second aspect of the second factor that is responsible for our parenting choices, which is the way we were raised, our nurturing, how we were nurtured. Now, it is not just what was modeled to us that we saw that has become a part of us, It is also behaviors that we learned. Because when it comes to nurturing, there are behaviors that we just learned. Either they were repeatedly done before us, we learned them via modeling, we sat down and were taught. They are just things that we learned. And unfortunately, these things are not all positive. There are so many of them that will not take us to our parenting destination. Rather, the vision we have as parents. We have visions for our children. I have never seen a parent who doesn't want a child to be great. I have never seen a parent who doesn't want a child to be successful. I have never seen that. However, many of the things parents do actually come in the way of their children not being successful. So let's think about it. If every parent wants the child to be successful, if every parent wants their child to be great, so how come we still have some children who end up adults who are struggling, who are not successful, who are not great? Do you really think it's luck? I don't think so. Because in PAC, one of the things we do in PAC, Parenting Accountability Community, is to research on people who are successful. We look at things like Forbes list. We look at people who are trending as trailblazers, who are winning in one aspect of life or another. We research them. And we realize that there is something about them. So it's not just sheer luck. There is something about them. Look at all of them. There's something about them. Look at our own Aliko Dangote. Look at it. Look at him. Look at Femi Otedola. Look at Elon Musk. Look at Ben Carson. Just name them. Look at those people. You will realize that, hey, there is a pattern. There is something you can learn from there. So what does it tell you? It is not by luck. There is a system they need to put in place, or they put in place, that work for them. So which simply means that if we want to get success to, there is a system we also need to put in place that will work for us. So one of the things we want to do is to begin to examine our parenting. So you want to sit back and ask yourself, okay, you are the result of your parents' parenting. Your siblings are the results of your parents' parenting. So you and your siblings are the results of your parents' parenting. So you want to ask yourself, you as your result, are you the best there is or there could have been? Could you have been better? Could your siblings have been better? Could there have been a different result? So when you sit back and look at that, and when we talk about that, we are not just only talking about we are talking about looking at it holistically from the angle of success in different aspects of life: financial success, relationship success, spiritual success, health success, and whatever success means to you. So you want to sit back and ask yourself those questions. Then you actually also want to look at your parents again. They are the results of their parents' parenting. So you want to look at it again. Are they the best results their parents could have gotten? Would their parent have, if they had done something a bit differently, would they have gotten a different result? So you actually want to look at it. You want to look at patterns in your family. Like I was talking about success, for example. Whatever success means to you, you want to look at the pattern. How are you people successful? What does success mean to you? And how is this success, how does it reflect in the totality of your life today? I sit back and I look at a lot. When I reflect on this myself, I know that there are patterns I actually need to break. Yes, patterns I need to break. I know that, yes, I could have turned out differently, more successfully, kind of in a different way. So I know that there are patterns I actually need to break. So let me share a quick story about pattern. You see, growing up, my mom was not so much of an outgoing person. Though she just had, if you read my book, Understanding Your Child, you will see where I talked about her story a bit. She's more like go to church. She's a Catholic. I was born and bred Catholic. My parents are Catholic. The knight and lady in church. If you're Catholic, you know what that means. So they even call my mom Mama Fada. That's how much Catholic she is. Even though none of her child or her children turned out to be a priest, but because she's such a Catholic, they call her Mama Fada. So she just has the kind of routine of going to church, work, and back home. And if she ever goes elsewhere, maybe market, shopping, that's basically it. So I don't remember having my mom friends over. Maybe once in a blue moon you have friends over. In my house, that is it. But my house was always open. We always had people living with us, dependents and all of that from time to time. That was our pattern I grew up with. I grew up, even though I've not been married for too long, I've always also had dependents, people, kind of. So that pattern from being raised followed me to my marriage. Like, it's easy for someone to seek accommodation, and it's easy for me to want to allow. And that's not it. Talking about my mom being almost alone and not having friends actually rubbed off for me. The pattern I inherited, I learned, like I said, is a learned behavior. I learned this from her. I almost don't have friends. Like, I just told myself recently that I want to deliberately begin to make friends. However, is this a good pattern? It is not, because in an era where networking is the new gold mine, I cannot afford to be a loner. No, I need to network. I need to be outgoing. I need to be out there. I need to deliberately invest in networking, invest in friendship. I read somewhere that if you want to go fast, you should go alone. But if you want to go far, you should go with a group, go with people. So that's it. I want to go far. I know that I need the power of networking. Unfortunately, it is a pattern that I learned. And if I do not deliberately break the pattern, I am also going to raise children who will learn that pattern and they will grow with it. So now, because I have a parenting vision, I know where I want my children to go, and I know that networking, social skills, relationship may be a major part of getting to that vision. I want to deliberately break that pattern of being a loner. I don't know if you are getting my picture. Now, let's look at some of the patterns we learned. Now, because we want to create our parenting style. Now, remember I started by saying that you have a destination in mind. You have a vision, a parenting vision. So because of that, you want to create your parenting style, your parenting pattern that will lead you towards your vision. For you to do that, you need to reflect on where you are coming from. The patterns you have, like I said, your temperament and the way we are nurtured are playing a great role in how you are raising your children, are playing a great role in your parenting style. So for you to create your parenting style, you need to first of all understand the parenting patterns you have learned and break them. So we have parenting patterns in the area of prejudices, that's prejudice, mindset, trauma, lifestyle, behaviors, choices, and a whole lot more. You have some people, like in Nigeria, election that just concluded, you have some people saying, I can never vote for an Igbo man because I'm a Yoruba man. And some people say, I can never vote for a Yoruba man because I'm an Igbo man. Igbo man, that is a prejudice. That is a pattern you may have been dragging from your ancestors, from your grandparents, your parents. That's a pattern that has followed them, that you also are dragging. So if you want to pause and you ask yourself that, what does it really matter? What does it really matter? Is this a pattern I want to pass on to my children? Is it a healthy pattern? Will this pattern help my children realize will it help me realize my vision for my children? I want to raise global leaders. If I want to raise global leaders, I cannot afford to promote a pattern based on prejudice, because it is going to sabotage them, because it is going to be an obstacle on their way. Imagine if they have opportunities. Imagine if an Igbo man is going to give them a better environment. It's going to give them an environment that will enable their dreams. They will say, no, I'm not going to relate with an Igbo man, rather relate with a Yoruba man. Or they will say, I'd rather relate with a Yoruba man, I'm not going to relate with an Igbo man, or something like that. So you want to sit and ask yourself, this prejudice, does it make sense? This tribal prejudice, this tribal sentiment, is it something I want to pass on to my children? If it is not, so that is one of the things you want to break. What are your prejudices? Sit down and ask yourself, what are my prejudices? What are they? Do I want to pass them to my children? If I do not want to pass them to my children, then I need to reflect on them. I need to ask myself, why do they even matter? Are they realistic? Are they realistic? Are they against my vision or for my vision? If they are against your vision, then you have to say bye-bye to them and make sure you do not pass them to your children. Another thing you want to look at is your lifestyle. What is your lifestyle? What is that lifestyle you are passing to your children? Yes, this is a very common one in Nigeria, where you have parents, for example, you have not paid your child's school fees, you are shopping luxury. It happens all the time. People leave priorities and they pursue things that are not important. Yes, remember, you are passing them to your children. They may have passed it to you too. Your parent may have passed it to you as a pattern. Now remember, you are creating your parenting style now. You are creating your parenting style. You are breaking parenting pattern. So you want to sit down. What is my lifestyle? What lifestyle do I have that I know that you may be struggling with it? It is fine that you are struggling with it, but you need to take the bull by the horn. You need to look at yourself in the face and tell yourself, hey, this is not one thing that I want to pass to my children. I cannot be carrying elephants on my head and be digging ants. No, I cannot be doing that. This is not the lifestyle I want to pass to my children. So you want to sit down and look at your lifestyle. Are you one of those that you want to fake it? You want to impress people? Or you are one of those, you are just in a competition, unhealthy competition. No one is competing with you. You are competing with yourself. Are you the kind of person, oh, I want to buy the latest thing, you know? I want my children to have this thing because their friends are having it or something. You are passing this lifestyle to your children. It may be that was how you were raised. The lifestyles were passed to you. So you actually want to sit down and learn to set your priorities right. Sit down and learn to set your priorities right, so that you don't pass these self-sabotaging lifestyles to your children. And at the end of the day, you become a family, a generation of family who goes from grace to grass. And then sometimes you say, oh, it's a generational curse. It is a pattern that you need to break. There are some other lifestyles like alcoholism, womanizing, or even the big one, spiritualizing everything. You know, it is a pattern. You need to create your parenting style, really. A pattern. I've seen people who believe that everything, oh, there is a witch somewhere that is attacking them. There's a spirit somewhere that is attacking them. They were raised. It was a pattern that was handed over to them, and they are busy handing over the pattern to their children. I pass school sometimes in the mornings. Maybe I'm going to work or something. I pass schools and I hear children in primary school, they will spend 30-35 minutes on the assembly ground and they are casting and binding Satan. Really? No. We are not saying Satan doesn't exist, but don't program your child to believe that witches and wizards are the one responsible for the things they do. Because when you program their mind that way, they rely on luck. they are not taking responsibility for their actions, they will not work hard because they will believe that I have to pray. I was listening to Sam Adeyemi the other day, and he said something that he actually said something in passive anyways, talking about pastors who pray for members, sow a seed, they pray for them, and they expect the members actually expect to get financial breakthrough. He said, no, you trade value for money. So you don't have a skill, you don't have a certificate, you don't have a trade. How will that happen? You know, so it happens really. You see people every single day believing that there's a witch or a wizard somewhere responsible for their struggles, when they are the ones self-sabotaging, when they are the ones not working on themselves, not creating values that can be monetized. So it is very important that even if you were raised with that pattern, you don't pass that pattern to your children of believing that witches and wizards are everywhere responsible, waiting to grab them and pull them down. It is a pattern you must not pass to your children. Remember, it's creating your own parenting style. You want to sit back and look at these things. Look at people who don't spiritualize everything. Look at what success means to you, and look at people who have succeeded in that area, yet they don't spiritualize everything. How are they recording success? That tells you that, hey, that is a pattern you do not want to raise your children with. You want to sit down and create your own parenting style. Now, the last pattern I want to talk about is trauma. Yes, very many parents, we are passing our traumas to our children, our baggages. We are raising them. We are raising our children from a traumatized place, from a place of our baggage. No. It is something we cannot afford to do. It is something we need to snap out of. We need to heal from. It is something we need to create our own parenting style and not pass our trauma to our children. So what we want to do, we have a worksheet we are going to use. I have a mini book and a worksheet we are going to use to track our traumas and make sure we don't pass them to our children. We have a mini book we are going to use to look at how we were raised, how we were parented, how our parents reacted to different aspects of our lives as they were parenting us, and we want to make sure that we do not pass that same trauma to our children. We want to make sure that we are creating our own parenting style, becoming a new ancestor for our children, an ancestor that will our grandchildren will look back and they are not breaking ancestral curse. If they are not breaking any ancestral curse at all, instead they are celebrating ancestral victories. That is what we are going to achieve with the worksheet. The worksheet is available to PAC members. So after this class, when you watch the video, you come back to our community, WhatsApp community, and ask for your worksheet. And ask for your worksheet. Hopefully, I'll give it to you individually so that I can track those who actually watched the video. Now, here's a bit of a task for you. You want to sit back and reflect on your choices. Look at your choices, the things you do, your behaviors, your character, and everything. You want to look at your choices and ask yourself, the choices I make, what are the factors responsible for them? Look at the factors, because I always say we all have a choice. No matter what you are faced with, you have a choice. We make choices every day. I read somewhere that we make how many decisions every day? Thousands of decisions every day, ranging from the tiny ones to the major ones. So you want to sit down and look at the major decisions that shape your life. Talking about your religion, talking about your health, talking about your finances, talking about your relationships with your family, with your children, with around you, even your purchase, your buying decisions. You actually want to look at that. Look at all of them and genuinely reflect on the factors behind them. If you are not sure, then you can have someone very close to you help you. They will help you understand why you make the choices you make. For example, they will tell you because they've known you for a while, so they are going to be able to tell you, hey, these are the things that influence your choices, and you actually want to look at them and see if those choices, the factors, they are factors that will promote, that should influence healthy choices. Are they just sentiment, some kind of sentiment that doesn't really make sense, like the case of tribal sentiments? They don't really make sense. Are they those kind of sentiments, factors that influence your choices, or they are real factors that that, hey, they are healthy factors? So now this brings me to the end of today's class. I do hope you have learned something. Like I said, it is creating your own parenting style. It is breaking parenting patterns and creating your own parenting style. So I hope that at the end of the day, you have learned something and you are running with it. Like I always tell my parents in PAC, Parenting Accountability Community, is one thing to learn, is another thing to take action. Knowledge is not power until action is taken. So your action points today is to begin to reflect on your choices, on your choices, and make sure they are from a healthy place. If they are not from a healthy place, then you want to begin to break those patterns of making choices not from healthy places for the sake of being a new ancestor for your children and for the generation ahead of you, for the sake of creating your own customized parenting vision, parenting style, parenting pattern. Remember, you have a vision, you have a destination. Yes. So the parenting style you are dragging along, rather you have come with, may not take you to your parenting vision. We looked at examining the result your parents got. If the way they parented you resulted in you, except you are 100% satisfied with you and where you are, everything about you, then you actually want to replicate that parenting vision style. But if you are not satisfied with where you are, you simply know that you need to break patterns. You need to unlearn some things and relearn some things. That is the truth. You didn't get that? I'll repeat it. We've looked at where we are, the result our parent got, and the result our grandparent got. Our parents are the result our grandparents got. We are the result our parent got. So except you are completely satisfied with the result your parents got, which is you, then it's okay to replicate everything, to carry on with their patterns. But if you know that you are not truly satisfied with the results they got, then it simply means that you need to break their patterns. You need to intentionally break their pattern. I hope it's clear now. Thank you so much for trusting me to do this with you. See you in my next video. Bye-bye.